was fun. Okay. OBS just like totally freaked out for a second there. For a second, my brain tried to figure out what the past tense of the word of like freaked out would be, and it was like, oh yeah, frucked. Yeah, frucked out. That makes sense. So funny. So funny when your brain tries to invent new words. Yes, that's a good sign. Okay, if I restart chat, then the Restream.io chat works. Okay, cool. I'm almost confident enough to just use the Restream.io chat and not have both Kick and YouTube chat open simultaneously. It's not that big of a pain, it just takes like 2 minutes. Dude, I have 16 followers. Can't believe it. Who are these people? Who are these beautiful people? Okay, I closed this. I closed that. My charting contest is coming to an end. It's going to end this Saturday at midnight. 11:59, technically. I didn't say specifically the time it would end on the website, but I figure like that's the most charitable interpretation I could possibly provide on there. So, and if somebody submits a chart like 6 hours late or something, I'm probably not going to care. Because that'd be kind of mean, right? Especially for this kind of contest. It's just like, I mean, there are cash prizes, right? So I have to be, I should be like, I guess I have the right to be a little bit of a jerk. It's not like I should be a jerk if it's like a, you know, a $10 billion contest or whatever. But I just have a right to be a little bit of a jerk. And, yeah, I don't feel the need to give prizes to people that miss the deadline. Just, no, it's kind of the point of a contest, that there's just like these rules and you just have to adhere to the rules, and that's kind of what makes it fun in some ways, is the fact that there's rules. I don't know. I could take another approach that's like, oh yeah, you know, take another 2 weeks or whatever, but why, you know? Like, okay, I would like to tell OBS that I have tabs. Okay, yep. And I could open my game up. In fact, it seems like a sensible thing to do at the start of the stream is take a look at what we last. There it is. Okay. So we're caught up in the minutia of this UI thing, of doing some UI stuff. Man, my game's UI is just really bad. It is not pretty to look at, I have to admit. But maybe I will get the chance to make the UI not crap sometime. Sometime in like the next 2 years. Wouldn't that be cool if I could have a nice looking UI? And a resizable window? God, and like not 480p resolution? Wow. That'd be cool. Ay. Okay, so we need a cancel button. right? I do believe that's the next step of this UI development. Is we want a cancel button. How are you doing today, chat? How is your weekend? I mean, Monday. Yesterday is Monday. Yesterday was Labor Day. So in theory, that means that a lot of people didn't have to work, or maybe took a half day off. That's exciting. I don't know. Oh, this is it. Here, yep, here it is. So what I do is I construct the table header, and then I have a separate function for populating the table body for whatever reason. I mean, I could just as easily put the whole table, like all of this, into a single function. But I'm not going to do that, I don't think. Okay, so how does this work right now? We need to save the user's selection. Right, so because the user can go to a separate page and then come back, so it's the same explanation that we use for table data. The data. Okay, so it is certainly true that whenever the user clicks the sign up button, huh? Does that make sense? Sure. Yeah, I mean it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if if you leave and then come back, if it's deselected your thing. That doesn't matter. All it matters is that it would save what you're currently signed up for. Yeah. So what I should do is somehow program in this. Right? So this can be sort of like a separate UI element. Well, okay. So how would we work that? How would we do that? Okay, so we would say this dot. Okay, so we need a function. This needs a function because we're going to use it in two places, and I don't like to repeat myself most of the time. Oh, we would just it's dependent on the division ID, right? So we just So I think I can take. I think I can take this out. And this? Do I take this out as well? I think yeah, actually, well, okay, if we're gonna, let's not do let's not instantiate these two variables unnecessarily. Every time someone calls that function, right? What you would do is you'd put that up there, and then, God, why can't I do refactoring like this in C? I'm only comfortable enough to do this kind of refactoring this quickly in TypeScript. I need to get better at C. I really do. Yes, yes, brilliant. Brilliant. Nothing should have changed, I don't think. There should be no functional difference. But that's worth testing. Yay. Okay, so the cancel button. It's going to be down here. Yeah. that make any sense? Should you... Why would you re-disable? That kind of doesn't make sense. You wouldn't do that. Oh, actually, you for sure would just... Like, if you can click this button... I guess it's technically possible that you could click this button. Well, it should just be like if this dot division ID. Over here, okay, so this cancel button, obviously you can't cancel your sign up if you haven't signed up yet. That's why we're disabling it. And you need to, you can sign up in the first place. Okay, so by default, it's probably going to start out disabled. But once you've signed up for something, the button should become enabled. So we should be like, enable button. And clicking the cancel button, what that should do is it should do like this.division ID is undefined because you're no longer in a particular division. And what you would do is you would change the text on the status div. There you go. So it can be enabled and it's disabled by default. And we have this extra little protection if somehow you're able to click the button even when it's disabled. Which generally doesn't matter, but it feels good putting that in there sometimes, you know? Because it's not that hard to, like, sort of quote-unquote hack things in JavaScript. Hey, sign up for a division, or where's my cancel button? Oh. I didn't add it to my parent div. Where's it going to show up? That's a decent place for it for now. Yeah, so you see it's a different color. It's like slightly more gray. That means it's disabled. Once you sign up for something, it should become enabled again. And then you click cancel, and you're clearly not signed up for a division. Perfect. As an extra step, you probably deselect this, right? Now, how would you do that? Oh, so also, I guess I wanted to demonstrate this. So this is your currently selected thing. So $0. You can access the onClick function fairly easily. Hey, look, there it is. You could obviously like redefine it to whatever you want, but you could just execute it. Ta-da! Yeah, basically any code that your browser sends you, it's yours. Like I think you can literally redefine this function. JavaScript games are so hackable. I don't know what I'm gonna do if people start hacking my game. So I've redefined the onClick function for my cancel button. You sign up, and now when you click cancel, it prints hello there. And does none of the previous things that it did before. Look, I just hacked my own game. On the bright side, generally, any hacking you do is going to only be on your side of the game. You shouldn't be able to hack any other people. Obviously, since there's going to be a server involved with my game, there is a non-zero potential for hacking that I need to protect against. Oh yeah, so how do you deselect a radio button? Set checked equal to false, maybe? Dude, I am tired. Yeah. Once again, only planning to stream for an hour today, but I just had a moment where I'm like, ooh, yeah. Definitely not. I mean, part of it is laziness. Like, a little bit is just like, I'm not super excited to be coding again. I did spend, like, an unhealthy amount of time just playing Genshin Impact the past 2 days. So actually doing work is scary. Is there not a smarter way to do this? Do I really have to search through all my nodes every time? Yeah, I think you just do that. Like, don't worry about it. So you get radio options, this dot radio name. Are we going to have a separate page? Realistically, you probably do get a separate page. Okay, so I wonder, I'm thinking of this now because as this code is written, there's only ever one radio name that's in consideration. I could change this function to pass in a radio name. So that just set off a sequence of thoughts in my brain that's like, wait a second, am I ever going to have multiple radio tables on this page? What if I have multiple? I would have to change this function. Do I actually want multiple radio tables on this page? How am I going to handle transitioning? I don't know yet. I shouldn't get distracted by it. It doesn't matter. Deselect radio options. So we know the radio name. We look through all the options. We look for the one that's checked, and then we say radio option dot checked is equal to false. We set it to false. We uncheck facile. There you go. That's going to return anyways. Yeah. Maybe we do one exit point here. Whatever. Same difference. So we deselect the radio option when we can do it both when you sign up and when you cancel. Yeah? Does that feel good? I think that feels good. Deselect radio option. Cancel the button. On click. Put it here. Sure. Okay, so just that extra tiny bit of fanciness. When you click sign up, hey, look, I'm signed up, and it doesn't keep my thing selected. But I could reselect if I really wanted to. Yeah, that feels good. And canceling Canceling it's fine even if you don't have something selected. But what if you do have something selected and you click cancel, it deselects it in that case too. Perfect, that's fine. Okay. Well, great. This is working just perfectly. I'm terrified because I don't know what comes next in the sequence of operations that we want to do. Because this is basically it, right? The user comes to the multiplayer page and they select, ignore the top 3 buttons. They select what quote-unquote division they want to be in. This is live updating, which hasn't been implemented yet. They sign up, and then they kind of just wait, until the the match starts. So I suppose if I wanted to continue down this path, I could. Okay, what would I do if I wanted to continue down this path? What I would do is I would create some kind of button that advances to the next stage, like that does the pretend action where the match starts. Basically, I could do that. Alrighty then. What happens when the match starts? I don't know. Back to the design document. Okay. Haven't done this yet. Ooh, I hate extra spaces at the end of lines. That's so evil. I haven't done this yet. This is interesting. We don't have any kind of time thing. We don't have like a time UI element. I mean, I could, if I wanted to like procrastinate by doing more work. Game starting. The sign up button's going active. Sign up button's disabled. What? Huh? What? Why did I write the same thing twice? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this could be the same page, or it could be an additional page. And then probably the playing display and the spectator stuff is all, that's all going to be one page. I think this part is all going to be one big page. You don't need any of this. Generally, you don't need all this other stuff for. You don't want that. Like, the less code that's hanging around for me to have to think about, the better. Generally. Huh. There is, okay. There is the slight concern of you're like in a game and then you leave and come back, what happens? That's a little bit weird. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. You know, why am I putting all these things in one div, I wonder? I'm not sure about that. They're pretty clearly separate things. I should really have some kind of timer, though. What does this look like right now? Where would I put a timer? Oh, interesting. The sign up button won't work if you haven't selected something. What is the error message again? Cannot read properties of undefined reading 0. Where does that happen? What? Get status message. Ah, yes. Right there. That makes sense. Okay, let's fix this bug. Let's continue to find distractions. What do you return? You don't tell me what happens if you fail to convert. Can I'm okay. I'm gonna go look at the documentation for parse int. JavaScript parse int. The parse int function parses a string argument and returns an integer of the specified radix. Leading white space is ignored. Radix is an optional argument. Return value, it gives a string or nan. There's isnan. Okay, so I could do like... if this dot division ID is equal to undefined. I'm just gonna put undefined because like it should never be a nan, and if it becomes a nan, then somebody's trying to hack it, and I don't care, I guess. What should I do? If it's undefined, then we pretend that the user never pressed the button. So we just return here. So let me get this straight. This returns an empty string. That's baffling. What? Wait a second. Nan. That's okay, that's what it should return. That's what it should return. So actually, realistically, I should never have to check this division ID is undefined. This is all that we need. And then we do this dot division ID is equal to undefined. Right? I mean, there's like 100 ways we could write this same piece of code. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that we can click it when the sign up button is not lit up, right? Or when you haven't selected a thing. Good, and it does nothing. And now it does something. Okay, great. Where am I going to put a timer? The timer kind of deserves its own separate div. It's a very important element, I think. I always start with a div, and it's funny because that reminds me of people make fun of web development because web developers just like put divs everywhere, and it's like Yeah, on a certain level. On a certain level, I mean, you have to do that though, because like, I mean, you could use a span or like any other arbitrary markup block that you want to, but you just it's how the CSS works. Is that's just like the it's just the concept of grouping elements together. That's why there's so many divs. It's just like a group. And I need to add it to I need to add it to the body. And okay, making a timer is actually really tricky, I think. Cuz I want to display it as like minutes and seconds. Maybe hours too? Probably hours too. Yeah, so making it update regularly is a little bit weird, isn't it? So at some point we have to ask the server what the match start time is. Or yeah, some unit like I'm probably gonna ask it how many seconds until the match starts, right? That's probably a thing that we do. Uh burr, burr, burr. Yeah, and this is probably something that we do like right at the start, right? This is like a whole separate little state management thing, and we say like private static waiting for, or we should be like already sent initial info request. Okay. The first time you come to this page, you have to go ask the server, what's the deal? Give me some information. So we do like, if we haven't already sent initial request, then we say this dot already sent is true, and then we go do it. Which means we make a socket connection? Huh, that's interesting. That's a different layout. That's a very different way of organizing this than I had considered previously. So we do this here. Is that what we do? That might be what we do. And if this line of code fails, well, this one, you're shit out of luck. You just gotta restart your client. What, you think I'm gonna make a button that lets you like retry connecting to the server? That's a crazy talk. No way. No way. I'd never let that happen. Code never fails. It's JavaScript. JavaScript code is perfect. JavaScript code is perfect. Hold on a second. I'm on call at work, so I have to like configure my phone to do this weird thing to actually to wake me up or like notify me if there's a problem, but also not allow phone calls and other stuff to make noise. It's really dumb. Like the Galaxy, what is it? Whatever Galaxy phone I have, just was not designed for this use case in mind. Which on one hand, Samsung, get your shit together. But on the other hand, just give me a pager, employer. Just give me a pager. Like I don't. It's paying like $5 a unit to have just like a supply of all these pagers that you can give to employees, and it's just a simple foolproof thing. Like as important as getting paged is, you don't want people's personal phone configuration bullshit getting in the way of, getting an important message through. Come on. I don't understand how you don't just get a pager. At AWS, you had the option of just getting a pager. And, they were on to something those 4 years ago or whenever that was, back in the dinosaur years. It's so silly. But then again, I don't know how much pagers cost. I assume a pager should cost like about $5 wholesale, if you're buying 10,000 of them or whatever. But maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe they're really freaking expensive. But however, on the other hand, the company did send me a laptop, right, for remote work, which has to be like $1,200 new. So yeah, when you think of it that way, and how like reusable and repairable a pager should likely be, maybe it's not a thing. But then again, what if the pager runs out of batteries? Everybody's going to keep their phone charged. They're not necessarily going to keep their pager charged, or with good batteries. That's an interesting problem. That's an interesting problem. Yeah, I don't know. I would at least like to try it. I think I want a pager. I think I want a pager. Okay, so we've we should actually this is an immediate thing, right? This is an immediate thing. But how do we know if we're like actually connected to the server? That's like an important thing. That's a really important thing. How do we... Did I not have this? If... Aha! Yes. So we have something here that's like, if this .socket is... if we don't have a socket at all, then we make a socket. If we haven't sent the initial info request and we can, and this dot socket is not equal to undefined, and it's ready, then pretend we've already sent the initial information request. And I guess I'll make a fake function that like does something, right? I should realistically put it above all this stuff. You know, if I want it to like mimic call order. It's going to get a little bit weird trying to sequence these events, isn't it? Yeah, it's going to get a little bit weird. I think it'll be alright, but it definitely involves a bunch of like redundant checking. It's not the most elegant way to express it, right? Like one way to express it would be to use like a sequence of promises. That's like, okay, first we do this, and then we do this, and then we do this other third thing, and then we have a switch statement. It's not going to really work like that, I don't think, but it should be fine. Request initial info. Okay, so what we could do, if we want to like improve the simulation, is say this is not defined until we've requested it. How do you like them apples? Right? How do you like them apples? I like them apples a lot. Yeah, I think specifically golden delicious apples are great. I think that's what they're called. No, wait, no. Honeycrisp. Is that it? I think that's it. All you people out there eating red apples, tisk, 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 man. I think it's really funny when people say tisk. Because tisk is an onomatopoeia. It's not supposed to be something that you say. But now it's become a thing that you say, which I think is really strange. But it's supposed to be the sound that you make with like your tongue in your mouth. It's supposed to be that sound, and then you have to have a way to write it. So we have tisk. Where do I put the table data? I'm confused. Table. There it is. Okay, we've requested initial info. One of the pieces of information that we're getting with the initial info is this. I will make a variable for it right now. Okay, this feels good. I feel like I'm making progress. Private static seconds until match start. And then maybe we have like -1 or -2 as special codes the server can send us to tell us other special cases, right? Like, why not? This dot seconds until match start is equal to, let's do some number of hours, right? Okay, so there's 86,400 seconds in a day to turn it all around or to throw it all away. So we could do like, I don't know, 20,000 seconds. That's probably some number of hours. Love that song, by the way. Big fan. Specifically the version sung by Chris Allen. Okay, so this is a weird thing about me. I generally don't listen to music. It's not that I don't like music, it's just that I prefer not to listen to it. God, that makes no sense. Even me saying it, I just don't listen to it. Like, if you sit me down and you play a song for me, I'll be like, yeah, that's a good song. Yeah, it sounds nice. But like, I don't like listening to music generally. I just don't. I don't do it. It's just like it's like okay. Yeah, people like watching movies, right? People like watching movies. I like watching movies. Well, I don't really watch movies. I'm not a movie person generally because it's just too long and I get bored. Okay, but say you like watching movies, okay, and you're just like I don't know. You're at work. You're in the car. You're just like sitting down doing something else, and somebody's like, wow, you're not listening to me. You're not watching. God, I can't even get my freaking analogy straight. You're not watching a movie right now. What's wrong with you? Do you not like movies? And it's like, no, of course I like movies a lot. I mean, I just don't listen. I don't watch movies unless it's a special occasion. I just like prefer not to watch movies all the time because I have other things to be doing. It's kind of like that with me, except I don't personally like watching movies. So so it's not a perfect analogy, but um yeah. And I listen to a song I will deliberately listen to a song like maybe once a month. Maybe once a month to be like, ooh, I want to go hear that song. Or I guess recently sometimes I listen to music during a workout. Yeah, sometimes I'll do that. Not every time. I don't, not always though. Doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I hate music. Yeah, that's just easier. That's much easier. Yeah, music's dumb. That's why I'm making a rhythm game. I hate music. Okay, initial information requested. So, uh, this is gonna. I just don't want to do that. That's just gonna fail. This is gonna break things too, though. Right? This should cause havoc. Yes. Ooh. I'm sorry. Okay, so I must have some kind of syntax error going on here. Yes, I do. Um, it's so strange that this is a syntax error. You'd think they would put like some placeholder in there. I don't know. So what was I doing? Yeah, I guess I'll just go ahead and finish this. I'll do this for now. It doesn't have an inner text, does it? You son of a... Oh. No, never mind. It does have an inner text. Of course it does. No, of course it does. That's silly. Why wouldn't it? Okay, and I want to be like... I want to be... Why would I be setting it as a set, like converting it to a string back and forth over and over again? That feels really silly. What am I trying to avoid doing here? I'm trying to avoid doing a DOM update every frame. Well, wait a second. What's going to update this number? How am I going to count down with this? I'm not going to hit the server every second. That's completely insane. Okay, so we're going to have like 5 variables to accomplish this very simple thing. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Here we go. We're gonna do it. Yep. We're making it happen. Okay. So now we're live updating it. If this dot seconds until match starts. Well, would I not just sort of bake the... I'm gonna do some kind of baking here. So we gotta do something like this dot last info request time millis, and we gotta do this dot we know we don't this dot current time millis. So we're gonna do like last info delta time millis. We're gonna do that. And then what? How would I know? Last info request time millis. We need last match start time update millis. Okay, here Oh, this is completely insane. Oh, because what if you come back to the page? This is really silly. Oh man, I can't figure this out. The server can send us whatever it wants. The server can send us whatever it wants. That's fine. But we have, so we're gonna live update that. Um. Hmm. That makes sense. Yeah, okay. So we know when we requested the information, and we know what was reported. Okay, so we're live updating that, right? So we have to say, if this already sent initial info request, then we can do a live update. And we can be like, this dot current time until match start is equal to. Oh, actually, this should be millions. Is current time millis minus last info request time millis. So it's that, yeah. Okay. Every frame we're doing that. And then and then there's the UI element, which only gets updated every second. Okay. And so we ask ourselves, if this dot display size is not undefined. Well, actually, that's not. What should we do? When we get this information, we should do math.round this dot this. Divide by 1,000. Yeah. And then this check actually makes sense. Because we're going to ask the question, if, well, we should just do like an and here. And the difference between this dot current milli still match start so this is that should be getting smaller, should it not? Yeah, this should we subtract the elapsed time from the last reported. Yes. So we say probably going to parenthesize this. The millis until the match start. Minus what we have displayed times 1,000. If that is greater than, this is silly, we'll just do like this. If that is greater than 1,000, if we're wrong, oh, this would be the bigger number, actually. I should reverse this. Boop, boop, boop. Then we update this dot display, seconds until match start, set it equal to the current time, which should be math.round this dot current millis until match start divided by 1,000. Okay. And then we say this is our update function currently. Our display function, which it won't be. In the future, but let's just run that. Wow, that was a whole long tangent. And we got a problem. Cannot read properties undefined reading 2 string multiplayer line 186. I better know what that is. This right here. Okay, let's see what that does. $332. Okay. Yes, this is the other errors that I was expecting because I changed the I changed it so that it only gets the table data. It won't necessarily have it on the first frame. I think something like that. What is this? Cannot read properties to find reading length. This is populate table body. Yeah. So table data is undefined. Right. Well, we can't display the table until we've asked the server what to display in the table, right? So we shouldn't even bother displaying this until... in fact, both of these, basically. So we should be like, if this dot... well, what's the signifier? What's the signifier telling us that we got the information back? Interesting. Okay, I'll have to configure that differently in the future. But for now, this is the indicator that we've gotten the information back. If this dot, so if we've actually quote unquote sent the request, and gotten it back, then you do this. I should just make I anticipate having an issue with this in the future, so I'm gonna go ahead and save myself the trouble. Oh. Right, I have to comment this out because, like, I'm not actually connecting with the WebSocket right now. There we go. And hey, look, it's counting down. Perfect. We have to format it, of course, but that's really good. Okay, great. Well, that's enough for today. I'm tired and I want to go not do programming for a little while. But of course, thank you so much for watching, as always. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope to see you next time. Probably going to be streaming tomorrow, but no guarantees, of course. Yeah, I hope to see you then. Until next time, farewell.